Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Build It. We're here at the quarry building our fancy penthouse that is carved into the quarry rock. And last episode we got a lot done as far as establishing more of the interior of the house, but I really want to get into more of the decorating. So I think this episode I want to really focus on that. Now I have an idea for a dividing wall here, which I started to put in, but then I realized I think I want to carry that carpet that I have on the corner there of the stairs and carry it out into the hallway and then put the divider there. So I deleted the divider so I have a better idea of where I need to put it. I figure I need to put the carpet down first. So I'm going to Quappa here. See if this will allow me to pick it up even though it's on another object. It's always an issue because I don't want to run all the way up. Okay, there we go. Just want to match this carpet up the best I can. This carpet here, you can be pretty close because you have the designs to match up, but if it's not perfect, I don't think you're going to notice too much. But then these carpets here don't match up. The question is, do I leave it or do I try and adjust this carpet piece to match the other? I'm going to see if there's any way. Maybe put this in and then maybe line the other carpet up. That might be the best option. Okay, now I'm going to grab the dividing wall, and it's this piece here that is pretty, it has that hexagon kind of texture, and it's a little more difficult to see through, and I think that works pretty good for using as divider walls. So I was thinking putting it down here and making a little bit of a divider wall, since this is going to be more of a guest area downstairs. And I think it might be good to maybe divide it with something like this rather than something clear. And it's a little more interesting and a little looks cool like that rather than just a plain white wall, because we have plenty of white walls in this area. So I'm going to grab this second piece, drop this in. Hopefully it doesn't, I'm hoping it fits. I didn't quite measure it, but it should be roughly 2 squares long, meaning squares, meaning like the floor pieces as a measurement. And not, yeah, there's going to be quite a gap on that side. So I might have to slide it here. I could add a little bit of wall on the end there, or I could space it out or slide it down. But I do like the edge of that coming to the end of the carpet. I'm gonna readjust this here. Line it up. Figure out something to do at the end there. I do have those white posts. That's very much like the paneled wall that I used a lot on the elevator. Those might be a good option to kind of fill that gap. I could grab another one of the dividers and just add it on the end there, but then it doesn't have the same, it's just going to look weird because it'd be great if that wall, for example, was divided into thirds with the posts going down, but these pieces are so wide, I could really only squeeze 2, and if I add another one, it'll be too short. and it'll look weird. So I think the best option is to go into this more. And where did I see this? I think it's in the new house, in the extra miscellaneous. There we go. These white pillars. I could line a bunch of those up and basically fill that little gap at the end. And it'll actually look pretty good, I think, and look like it was built that way, where the wall comes out just a little, then to start our little glass divider area. I'll bring this thing in here, drop that in. Like so. And it already matches the other wall, so it's perfect. Just need a few more of those to line up, but I think that's probably the best option there. So what do you say we jump in, do that real quick? Okay, as you can see, I did split the panels up just because once I started laying in the pillar pieces, I liked how they looked and how they matched the rest of the wall. It might tie in with the other walls a little bit more if we add in a post, say, in the middle. And it also solves our problem of trying to make that glass divider longer. It looks pretty cool. Next thing I'm thinking about is that far wall at the end of the stairs. I need something to make that wall a little more interesting, and I was thinking some kind of art piece or modern art piece. So I'm looking for some random object in here. This is so slow, such a slow scroll through this stuff, but just looking for anything that maybe I could set into the wall and make it look like it's some kind of art piece. And so far I'm not finding anything. So that might be something I have to keep an eye out for, and not necessarily put it in right now, but as I'm building and going through all this stuff, you know, for other parts of the build, sometimes you can find something. I think in the meantime, I'm just gonna put another black wall on that back area of the stairs. Right now it's kind of divided with the white paneling, which looked okay before we put in our little divider. And I think it will look better to make that whole hallway area section all the black wall. So we'll add this in here. Line up our little gold trim. Set that back. See if we can save our little white feature wall thing there. Just like so. It's cool, but I'm still not sure about that white. Now the white kind of paneled wall thing is looking a little odd. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I think it worked when it had that white paneling on the left, but I think right now, because of the contrast is so much, it's kind of distracting. Maybe something gold to kind of tie in with the trim, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of it altogether and find a different solution for that. Something a little less jarring. Keep these walls black. Get another piece just to fill in that little corner area. Get rid of this. We don't need this panel anymore. I think I might leave those cabinets there just because they're the same width as the stairs. It's right now it looks okay with that, and it kind of ties in, like I said, with the stairs there. So I'm going to drop in this other black panel. Just like so. We can still see that little corner piece of water, but that's okay. Maybe we can add a plant or something there to kind of cover that up. Figure out something. But it's not the end of the world if it has to stay there. It is what it is. I was also thinking one of these giant terminal things, the back side of these have interesting texture and shapes and lights. That might be cool just to inset into the wall is, like I said, that modern art piece. So I'm going to see what one of these looks like. Set in to maybe resemble some kind of modern art piece. Just line it up and see if we can get it to fill that area. It's not too bad. I just don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that looks right where it's at. I think I'm just gonna get rid of this stuff altogether and start with something completely different. And even with that by itself, even if that was centered, maybe, but I think I want to go with something else. So I think what I'll do is just get rid of this. One thing I do want to add in is some lighting, and I was going to do the chandelier kind of thing, but I use that too much, and I think these Slocum's Joe lights will work perfect. I can probably put a couple in the just above the stairs just to light that up, and sometimes these lights give off an interesting reflection on the walls and stuff. We'll see if we can get that to work here. Put it up here in the marble, just like so. I like the look of that. So I'm going to drop in the others and see what they look like. Okay, I got all three in, fairly spaced out correctly by eye, but it depends on the angle you're looking. It's really weird. But I think they look good where they're at, and it's a good start of establishing this room here. These floor pieces, which are the concrete from the S'more mod, I'm gonna think I'm gonna take these out, just making sure they're not connected to anything here. And I'm gonna put in more of the dark wood so I can continue that floor texture all the way over to our wall. I think it'll look better that way rather than having that concrete, because that has changed since adding in this sidewall. So I'm gonna drop in that dark floor real quick. add these in, and we come to this little corner area here where it ends, and it makes this room look a lot bigger actually when I use all the wood. So this is really looking cool already. And then the way that floor ended there makes me think that might need like a little kitchen area off to the side there. So with the size of this room and the way it's looking, I think this might be more of a game room, which would make me change my idea in the back area here. That is somewhat of an entertainment area, but not a very well laid out one. So I'm going to get rid of the pool table here, and I think this will become more of a personal office area. Can still have some of it a lounge area, but I do want to put in a big desk in this area here, which would then turn this other room into more of a social area, a gaming room, or something like that. I think there's a better use for this area here, which is unique on its own, especially with that patio. But I'm thinking this room in here will have the pool table and some couches and stuff, which I know we will have in the other area there, but I feel like the other area that we initially first started building is more of like the main household, and this may be a guest area. Just had an idea here, grabbed another one of these posts, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a separation wall, just like we did at the staircase over there, to then divide this into a little office. So I'm just going to put one of these pillars here, and then we'll put in the hexagon glass divider, just like we have there at the stairwell, and use that to divide the office, just to keep that theme going and just break up that room a little, because it is pretty big and I don't know everything I'm going to fill it with. So we'll grab this one here and drop it in. Just line it up with that seam there on the floor, make sure everything's square. So drop it into our post. At least it appears that way. Put it right there. And then I'll go grab one more of those posts and then drop it in on the edge here, just to make it look more of like a structural piece rather than just having that divider, little silver edge thing there. We'll add in a pillar here. Then that divides the room, but it also carries on the idea of that glass panel that we decided to use on the stairwell in the other room, and it helps divide the office as you come in. So I like it. As far as our game room area, I'm going to add in a little kitchenette type thing for food, or beverages, drinks, whatever you want to call it, in our entertaining area, just so we don't have to go all the way back to the main kitchen that will be on that other side of our penthouse here. I don't exactly have this is the only kitchen sections that I have. I mean, the sink is broken, so is the front of the stove, but it's the cleanest. So at least on the PlayStation, there's not a whole lot of options when it comes to the kitchen stuff. So I'll have to make do with this, but I think I'm going to use a bunch of these and create a little, like I said, a small kitchenette area in this little corner to fill this area up. Just lined in here the best I can, like so. I'll drop in this other piece here, just to continue around on that wall. I'm going to line it up on the bottom there, just so the cabinet drawers and those things line up, and you don't have I guess a cabinet going halfway in. And I think in this instance, because it is sticking through the wall or through a wall piece, that it doesn't matter if it pops out the other side, so why not do it here? After looking at it, I might even do like a horseshoe type kitchenette counter, you know, almost like a wet bar kind of thing. But as I was looking at our little kitchenette thing there, I think we need like a backsplash. I'm going to use some of this just to get some marble on the back wall there. Make that act as like a backsplash. Once again, to tie in that whole marble thing, but also break up that kitchen counter thing. So I'll add this to the back here. And once again, because we're not using anything on the other side of this wall, we can have it stick through as much as we want. Adjust this just a bit. I like that. Okay, I added in another counter piece there. Very standard vanilla game counter there. I think that works well. Extending it out, and I also added in some cupboards up above with some marble. Quarry marble sticking down from the ceiling. I think this looks good. And I even think the colors actually work, even though I'm forced to use that blue. I think it works because it gives a little bit of color in this area that is pretty much predominantly white. Good start. Well, I was kind of scrolling through some of the items here. I did come across the Neon Flats. I think it's from Neon Flats, the Creation Club. This little inverted or like ceiling storage area. Need to attach this to my ceiling piece here so I can grab it. But this might be cool down in our little kitchenette area to have hang down out of the ceiling and kind of continue that wet bar feel. It should work pretty well for that use. I know it is a little wider than the counter, so I'm not sure if that's going to look odd, but we'll throw it in here and see how it looks. And it'll be unique. It'll also tie in with the fireplace there that we used with a similar idea. So I'm going to line things up with that back wall just so this is somewhat square. And then add it in. I think that's a good height. Bump it up just a little. Something like that. It could even come out a little more. Maybe right to that white ceiling post. That's pretty cool, actually. And I might add in some white ceiling pieces to cover up that gap at the top, and also so it looks a little more built in. I think there's some furniture piece here, like this. One of these is a very good white. The back of this, maybe. I can use a bunch of these to fill in that gap up above. It's white, and just the shape of it will work pretty well because it's not super deep. So I can inset that into the ceiling, fill that gap, and make it look more of like a built-in piece. It's like so. So I'll use a bunch of those others and fill that all in. Might even do that on the front area here as well. Okay, as you can see, I added in those white pieces, but I also added in a bunch of lighting and used a bunch of those ceiling lights, placed them together, tried to line them up the best I could just to create that kitchen lighting, almost like a more of a sci-fi 80s kitchen lighting, but I think it works. Okay, next order of business, or not necessarily in order, but I just have an urge to work on the warehouse area a little bit, and I'm going into the custom vanilla assets, and I think it's custom vanilla assets. Has some warehouse type pallets with barrels and boxes, which I guess I could do on my own, but sometimes I like using them if they're already made, and I'm gonna try and use some of those. It's just because it takes so much extra time on the PlayStation, to build a pallet of boxes, for example, because they need to put the pallet down and then place each box with the Quappa tool, just because it's hard to get all those boxes on the pallet nice and square by just using the regular snap method, because it won't let me get close enough to do something like this. So these here are good. I'm gonna look for one that has a little bit of both, little barrel, little box, just so I can fill up this warehouse area. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time in the warehouse, but I do want to give the idea that it's storage and supplies, and these crates will create that pretty quick. So what do you say we beef this up with a bunch of supplies, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so we filled up the warehouse pretty good. A lot of junk, a lot of storage, not too clunky, not too junky. And this hallway added in a bunch of stuff here, which leads out to our escape area or entrance area. And I think this will work. Like I said, I didn't want it to get too junky or clunky, but I do want to give the idea that this is extra storage where a lot of the supplies are stored. And I'm just looking for the security gate door. There it is. I don't think that's going to snap in, so I'm going to have to quappa that in. But I want to add that door in, and then I think we're pretty close to being finished in the warehouse area. Okay, there we go. We got our security gate up, separating us from our escape route or entrance, whichever one. Figured we got to have some kind of gate there. So we got that in there, and we got our warehouse area finished. So more progress, not as much progress as I wanted to as far as this episode goes, but I think it turned out good, and I do want to get the warehouse out of the way. I want to jump on the office. I've got ideas for that, but I also want to do a bunch of stuff in the entertainment area where I'm going to put the pool table and the couches and the whole grand fireplace that we have there. Kind of excited to work on that and try some things. Just going to add in a few more boxes here. These are pretty easy to stack. I'll use a bunch of these. I'll kind of change it up just so it's not all of the same thing. Twist them a little bit so they don't, because they are the exact same box. So the trick is to kind of make it look like they're different boxes, and by doing that little twist or tilt kind of thing can help with that. But as I was saying, pretty good start here. I want to add in some doors here, and I should be able to find these in this more mod. Doors that match the actual wall. I was thinking about it would be cool to have a different color or a lighter wood, but I don't have that. Like, I don't have it on the PlayStation, so I'm kind of limited as to what I can do. And these doors here I think will work. I wish they would stand out more, like I said, like a lighter wood color. I just don't have that in the PlayStation, except for say the sanctuary house doors, but that's more of like an exterior door and it looks weird. It also has the little glass look through it at the top, which I don't think you want on the bathroom door or the bedroom door. So I think these will work. I might do a different door going into the storage area, and I have no idea what I'm going to do down here. This little area here is large enough to put something, but not too big. And I definitely don't want to put any more couches or anything. That's all upstairs. So this might be pretty simple. If that's a bedroom, and this could be a second bedroom, and this being the second bathroom, this will be another bedroom in here. So this will be the guest area down here. So as I said, good start. We built this little separation wall, cleaned up this staircase area here, added in the carpet. I like that. I like the black walls. We got to find something to put on the edge there, maybe some artwork. I just don't want to do like the standard paintings, that we get in the Fallout build mode. We'll figure out something. Same with this room here. We're going to add in the pool table and some kind of furniture setup and some big art piece on that far wall. Now I know there's some giant signs, like a Corvega or something like that. That would be cool to put on the wall, but those might be too big even for this wall. But that would be ideal, like a big Corvega sign or something like that, right next to the pool table. Maybe even, like a flat screen TV or something. But there's plenty of options. We'll finish up our little kitchenette area and figure out what we're going to do in front of our big, huge fireplace here, which I'm really liking and glad I decided to do that there, because I think that is a much better use of that corner. This hallway out here, I think too, I'm going to do something in this little corner area. Something more interesting as we head down in the hallway, down into the main area, which would have the kitchen there. This would be the living room, and the main bedroom would be up here. Not necessarily in this area. This might be another area for the main person living here, but the main bedroom would be in here, as we've already kind of established in earlier episodes. So all kinds of things to get to still. The office on the other side, but it's coming together, and we're starting to get into the fun stuff, which is more the interior decorating and things like that. Now that we have essentially established the build of this, and we're now more interior. So we'll jump on that more next episode. But as far as this one goes, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And until next time, keep building.